Two boys, one podcast. Two boys, one podcast. Your movie connection. When it's time for reflecting, we make fun of each other. Then do film reviews. Winner or loser. Is this movie right for you? Nope, it sucks. Don't press your luck. You better listen to us. Two boys, one podcast.
Welcome to Two Boys, One Podcast. Hello, Snort fans.
Present company excluded.
Yeah. What special is this we're doing?
It's the you're special, I'm special, be special, special.
I'm special, you're special.
Be special, special.
Be special, special.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't done this in a while, huh?
I mean, I'd say we're out of practice, but practice hasn't really helped us in the past.
No, but I think we're doing great. Listen to us. Listen. We already got the banter.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The chemistry. It's there, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's the miles can't keep us apart.
Now we're back to the good old days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Yankton. You're in
Safari.
You're out on safari.
Yep.
What are you hunting?
Everything.
The greatest game.
Yeah, I've found that it's just a pretty good game.
Oh, okay. Must be talking about Settlers of Catan.
I try not to talk about it. It gives it power.
Why? Kind of like the Bye-Bye Man.
Yeah. Yeah, the Goodbye Man.
Good Year Man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The Stay Puft Goodyear Man.
The state of South Dakota. You win. You won.
I feel like a winner.
You are, buddy.
Yep.
How long has it been since we did a regular episode? September? October?
I think it might have,
last year?
I think it
It's
may
been
have
months.
I think it may have been August.
August even. Wow.
I don't remember specifically. It was The Survivors was the movie.
I remember that. Yeah.
But I don't remember when we watched it, I guess. You'd have to I bet our viewers can tell us, our listeners can tell us, because they had all but forgotten we existed.
I don't know, those numbers on the specials, baby.
They're hard to give up. Fame is hard to give up.
Hello, all 50 of you.
Yep, 50 million.
One person listening 50 times, maybe. I don't know.
I mean, at least our viewership is rabid.
Would appear that way.
Yep.
So it's been, let's see, September, August, September, December, January, February. It's March. 8 months. What have you been doing? Wow, that's a long time.
Nothing good. I've been up to nothing good. How about you?
Lots of good
Yeah?
stuff.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I was working at the state park,
Yeah.
And then I decided I'm going to hang up my shit cleaning pants.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
And then I took them right back off and I put them back on at a different place here in Yankton. Isn't that fun?
You bid them bidet, and then you said hello again.
I said, what are they saying? Hawaii?
Aloha?
Aloha. Look at that.
Arrivederci.
She's a good friend of mine.
Yeah. Well, how are the number twos at the number two?
Number two is at the number two. They are healthy. They are large.
Well, it's befitting, I guess.
Yeah.
You leveled up.
I just can't get away. I can't get away.
I mean, it doesn't sean like you're trying too hard.
I just love it. I love it.
Yeah. No, I can tell.
I see a toilet. I gotta clean it.
Yeah. I mean, at least they're using the toilet now. You used to have some stories of some situations that were not appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like a 1986 prison, famine, potato famine, where you're painting the walls with it.
You and that damn family.
You're welcome.
You're the one obsessed with with doo-doo. You're always talking about the damn...
Hey, I want to support you in what you do.
Is that funny to you?
I have no sense of humor that I'm aware of.
You're a real treat.
Mm-hmm. I know. I'm a real peep.
You know, it's almost been 4 years for us, buddy.
Yeah. No one's more excited than I am.
Or me.
Not even you. You can hear it in the timbre of my voice.
Very excited.
Yeah, this is what euphoria sounds like.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I got those COVID shots.
Oh yeah, both of them?
Yeah.
I think that they should put them in paintballs.
Think so? And just shoot people?
Yeah, that way you gotta go get my shot. And then you just running around.
Put them in the cap and crunch because it's ripping up the top of your mouth anyway. So
Get right in there. Yeah.
So anyways, I got to let Bill Gates have my body's control for 10 minutes a day. But I wake up with $100 in my pocket, so.
That's good. You can afford to pick up the 100 because he can't.
Right. Exactly.
It'd be a waste of his time.
Time is money. Somebody said that one time.
Well, I also heard that the first million is the hardest to make. Which I found ridiculous because it was the easiest for me.
Was it? What was the hardest amount of money you had to get?
1 trillion rupees.
That would be tough.
Yep. Still haven't gotten there.
Nepalese or Indian?
Nepalese.
Oof. Forget about it.
I try.
Just can't do it. Well, you got your trillion rupees. What'd you buy?
A pair of yak socks. They were cloven.
And then 4 trillion Indian rupees, I'm sure.
Yep. I did a horrible haggle.
And the exchange rate. That'll kill you.
I made the mistake of doing the exchange at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
And they just flensed me.
Did you say flensed?
Yep.
I just learned that word recently. That's funny.
You gone whaling?
No.
Oh. All right then.
Sealing.
It is a club sport.
Roof. I'm talking about roofs.
Okay.
Cutting them up.
Fair enough. Rutabaga.
What is that?
What's a rutabaga?
Yeah.
Isn't it a root vegetable?
Seems a little too obvious, don't you think?
I mean, I guess you'd know.
Why would I?
Oh, you are a herpetologist.
I am?
Yep.
Nah, I'm just a janitor.
No, maybe.
Custodian.
And you're a yuck theologist?
With my slop bucket, just picking up the slop. Hey, you got any slop in here? Let me have it. I'm gonna put it in my bucket here.
Gotta go feed the pigs.
Yeah. I love some slop.
Mm-hmm. What's not to love?
I don't know.
Most things, I think. Most things.
Oh, this is pretty riveting.
Yeah, I'm not a riveter.
No rosy over there, huh?
No, it's not so rosy over here.
Pretty rosy here.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Well, I suppose we better just get to the movie then, huh?
Cut to the chase. That's what I say.
That's not how it works, buddy.
No, you're killing time over there with a hatchet.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's not how it works either.
Oh, you're cutting it up with a saw.
Yeah, what about that? Sure, I'm doing that.
What about that?
What about it?
What do you think about that?
Are we playing the what about? What do you think about that game?
I think the I think the show got canceled.
Who canceled this?
Who didn't?
Who didn't? Who is this guy? Where does he live?
Who didn't?
Who didn't?
Who didn't?
That's monkey's wrench.
I don't want to be a monkey wrench.
That's a song, isn't it? I don't want to be a... Right, Foo Fighters?
Yep.
Well, Zeke, you know, there's a there's a question you got to ask me before we get to the movie.
Can you hear that? In the distance of Yanktown, humming down the bridge.
Zeke, it's time for the next segment. Zeke, it's time for the next segment. Gonna talk about a movie. It's called The Adventures of Baron Munchausen. Man, you are just full energy.
Yeah. Yep. Cranked up to 1.
Pep up. Where's your damn pep?
I'm all pep boysed out.
Oh my gosh. Pep boysed out. Do you have this pulled up? I don't have it pulled up.
The synopsis?
Yeah, get the synopsis.
Well, I don't want to read the official one because I wrote an unofficial one that I thought was more prudent. So I'm going to read that. So, 1988's The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen.
There's no Von. Or is there?
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Baron abandoned all of his friends, had affairs with 2 married women, kidnapped a young girl, and started a world war because he was bored.
Yeah, and it was sexy as hell, too. Right.
Sure. It was something else. This movie is something else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was the best, huh?
It was something else.
It had cool cannons. It had a cheese island.
Man, there were a lot of cannons.
There were a whole lot of cannons. He rode one and he shot through the dang sky.
Well, he rode a cannonball through the sky. Yeah. Caught it. Drug him. Then he caught another one on the way back.
Yeah, he had to get back. He was shooting out of the castle because the Turks were invading the apparently British town he was in because he stole
all their money.
All the Sultan's treasure.
So this was Baron Munchausen.
Yeah.
Like we open the movie and there's a play reenacting the fable of this guy's life, and then he shows up out of nowhere for no reason and says, "Hey, you're telling my story wrong." And then
he saw a flyer outside, Zeke.
He happened. That's right. He saw a flyer, thought, "Hey, that's my name. His name is my name too."
That was the reason.
And whenever we go out, people always shout. There goes Munchausen. Should be made into a sequel too. This movie is part of the ridiculous dystopian trilogy that I don't even know what this trilogy is officially called.
Trilogy of Imagination, Zeke.
Okay. Well, this and so it's Time Bandits, this one, and is it Brazil?
Yeah, all Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
Gilliam, directing. And I've been trying for a long time to get you here.
Yeah, and now that you've done it, how does success feel?
Great.
Does it?
I feel awesome.
Okay.
And I can tell you didn't like it, so that makes me feel even better. I'm a happy boy.
Oh, good. I'm happy that you're happy too.
Yeah. Thanks. No, don't be happy. I want you gloomy.
Why so glum, chum? This movie. I mean, this is the first time we've done it this way. We watched this over Zoom.
Yeah. Took about an hour to figure it out.
It did. Which made the film feel infinitely longer.
Yeah.
It was already it was like 2 hours and 6 minutes long, I think.
Another half hour at least for me.
Yeah, well, I mean, it may as well have been because we were 95 minutes into the film, and both of us were like, he hasn't found half of his crew yet. So
I don't recall. Recall that.
Oh, okay. So this movie, like Baron is he's basically a grifter that he doesn't really need the money, but he takes money off of other people because he can.
He's I don't know I guess he's a baron, and he's got these servants, and one of them's the strongest man in the world, one of them's the fastest man in the world, one of them has the best sight and can hit a target from half the world away, and then the other one has incredible hearing and lungs.
Yeah, does he have incredible hearing? Oh, that's right. He could tell that he was sleeping. That makes sense. Yep. Yeah. Huh. Okay, so he is a baron. It doesn't say what he's a baron of. He has these servants, but I feel like the servants... I wasn't aware that they were his servants until the end of the movie when he called them his servants. I thought they were just like a band of friends. I just thought they were like a group of buddies.
No, he said it several times.
Okay. Well... so he makes this deal with the Sultan, and we don't really know why he's there. But the Sultan offers him a drink. He said, "Oh, it's pretty good." And the Sultan says, "Oh, it's the best wine the world over." And the Baron says, "Well, I bet I can procure for you a better one from 1,000 miles away within the hour."
Zurich.
And Eric Idle has like these ankle weights that are made out of dungeon weights. He's shackled. Yeah. So he comes like trudging in, and then we don't really understand why he's got those on. And then he's given the message to go get this wine.
Zurich. Go get the wine. Be back in an hour.
Yeah. So he's got and it's a mere 1,000 miles away.
Or the Sultan is going to chop off the Baron's head.
Right. Yeah, that's the deal.
And if he does bring the wine back, then he can take as much treasure from the treasury that the strongest man can carry.
Right. So this is all, like, he just happens to have all the parts ready to go for this, unbeknownst to him.
I'll give you, it was maybe a little convenient.
So then Eric Idle takes the balls and chains off his feet and just lickety-split, like goes full flash.
Roadrunner.
Runs himself into the ground, pops up, takes off like a bat out of hell. Goes 1,000 miles, gets the wine, on his way back, decides to go tortoise in the hare and take a nap.
Takes a little nap.
Yep. So then we find out...
The Sultan is entertaining the Baron with his... what was it called?
It's the the Torturer's Apprentice. He plays it on the organ. He has an organ with prisoners inside, and the
it's like every time he hits sounds, a key, he hits a key and then it
stabs him.
It pokes him, stabs him with various tools, and all the songs are about torturing people.
Yeah, I actually liked that part.
Yeah, it was funny.
The Torturer's Apprentice. I'd watch that musical.
Too.
But yeah, so like the musical part of this, I don't know if they continued on and I stopped noticing them, but like the island of cheese and sausage bushes was like part of the musical, or not part of the play at the beginning, when they're like reenacting all these things. And then as we go, the part of the play that we saw, which was like based loosely on what Baron von Munchausen's life must have been, ends up being verbatim what happens over the course of this adventure.
Yeah.
So then we get to the Torturer's Apprentice. They have the blind executioner. I don't know if that's an allegory for a blind justice or if it's just like, hey, the executioner is blind. This is going to be funny. So then he's being like aimed on where to cut Baron's head off. It's being like dotted along the lines. And then one of his other servants decides, well, the guy who can hear really well is like, we got 3 minutes. We got to get him back. He's a mere 900 miles away. We got to get him back.
Forgot, Zeke. The Baron whistled for his horse.
Oh,
the horse came running. He jumped on the horse. They jumped out like the 10-story window.
Right.
And that's where his servants were. And he said,
really
hey,
stuck the landing.
My head's going to get chopped off. Where is this guy?
And you're like, don't lose your head. And then he's like, but this is a wager. And you're like, we have to take this seriously now. See?
Yeah, anyways. I see. So anyways, they all used their various tools. Well, I guess the two of them did. And they shoot
an apple off the tree and it lands on his head like Isaac Newton.
Woke him up.
And then he like nearly takes off without the wine, brings the wine,
but
gets
it.
And then they get to take all the treasure that the strongest man can carry, and it turns out that
with
they have the
only like
strongest
5
man.
grains of, they were using an hourglass to literal hourglass for 1 hour, and they had like 5 grains of sand left.
Just in the nick of time.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they took all the treasure. He was able to carry all the treasure, and then they left, and then Baron was like,
mad.
The Sultan was mad. Starts this war that doesn't ever end, and the Baron was like, "Hey, way to go, guys! Friends off." And then he just like abandoned them places.
Yeah, I guess. And
then lived his life, got old, crashed his own play because he didn't think he was telling the story right, and then kidnaps this young girl.
She stowed away in his air balloon made out of woman's underpants.
Yeah, the knickers that ballooned into a hot air balloon. Yeah. There were 3 women. He asked if he could use their knickers to make a hot air balloon, and it turns out he was able to make 1,000 square feet hot air balloon. That's fine. It makes sense. Uma Thurman, 18-year-old Uma Thurman, is one of those actresses who he borrows the knickers from. And then the young girl, and in the trivia, the young actress said this was one of the most traumatic experiences of her life working on this movie because of all the explosions and how she was just literally drenched all of the time. She said it was just horrible.
Good old Terry.
Yeah, really knocked it out of the park on a trilogy that you really can't question the relevancy of.
Oh, I'm glad we got to this.
Yeah. Okay, so
then what? Then what happened after that, Zeke? I don't remember.
So then Baron's got this stowaway. They're on the hot air balloon. The Baron
because they took off on the balloon of ladies' underpants because he said, "I'll end this war." So
I started the war. I'll end it.
End the war because that's yep.
So then he has to go reassemble his crew that he had abandoned years before. We really don't know how long it's been. He ages and unages because, like, based on adventure, like an adventure will make him young again, just him, or he will age when I guess we find out later that he's died several times. So I don't really understand the math behind it.
And he recommends the experience too.
Yeah, he recommends the experience, but I did get a little chuckle out of he really just wants to die. So he's like, "Am I dead? No, blast. Go away. I'm trying to die. I'm tired of the world, and the world is evidently tired of me. Don't lose hope. Don't catch cold." So then he goes to the moon where Robin Williams is playing the King of the Moon, and it was a role that was originally offered to Sean Connery, but Sean Connery didn't feel like it was kingly enough. Because he had played the Mediterranean king in Time Bandits.
Time Bandits, yeah.
So, yeah.
Wouldn't even go with this countryman, huh?
I don't know what that role was written as. I find it hard to believe that what we saw was the scripted version, since like Robin Williams was just like, let's see what happens when we do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So they get to the moon, and then. He tells the little girl who stowed away in the air balloon that that was the last place he saw Eric Idle, and the Moon King's his best pal. And the next thing you know, here's Robin Williams. He's a floating head on a disc, and we learn that his body and his head operate separately from each other. He's escaped the body. He doesn't want to be on the body because the body is all about sensual things, I guess. And then
the mind doesn't have any time for that.
Yeah, and the body catches the head and then gets mad at him for looking at his wife, I guess. They put him in a cage.
Mm-hmm. But then the same things keep happening. So the wife is besmitten with the Baron and lets them take a lock of her hair as they escape. And Eric Idle still doesn't. He's been there so long, forgotten on the moon, that he's forgotten how to run.
He just happened to be in that cage, the same cage.
Yeah. They didn't have to look very hard for him. He just was there. But he'd forgotten how to run. He'd lost his legs, or the desire to use them anyway. Couldn't remember why he was there. Couldn't remember why he'd want to leave. So they end up leaving the moon. and being swallowed by a big fish in the ocean.
No. Wait, was that how that happened?
Yeah, they tried to climb down from the moon.
No, that happened. No, they got stuck in that giant space globe somehow, and we were talking about the effects, how they did it.
Yeah, they climbed down using the hair.
Okay, that's what it was, and then they fell into the volcano.
Oh, right, they fell into the volcano. That's right, they fell into the volcano, which got them back to land, and then they find the strong man who liked not being the strongest man. He liked just being able to serve tea. Yeah, everybody was big and strong, and he didn't have to be like the big strong man. He didn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
But then he causes a fight there because Uma Thurman is married to Vulcan, and he runs out she falls in love with Baron as well, and then Vulcan is like, well, hell with you. I'm a god. You're gonna die. And they run away again with the strong man.
Yeah.
So their band is halfway back together.
Yep, and then that's when.
And then they get eaten by a fish.
The underwear balloon pops, so they're on the ocean, and then they get eaten by a fish. Where inside resides a bunch of folks, 2 of them being the other servants.
So this is over 3/4 of the way through the movie. They have both the well-hearing and heavy-lunged. What's the actor's name? We've connected with him before.
No, you knew it.
I did. I remembered it yesterday. Purvis. Melvin Purvis. No.
Yeah, Jack Purvis.
That one. And then the guy with good eyesight that has a sniper rifle, a sniper blunderbuss that he's able to use from 1,000 miles away like nothing.
We like blunderbusses.
We like blunderbusses. And everybody's old now except for the Baron, who's unaged because of the adventure, finding youth again. Rejuvenated, and he's like, we're gonna go stop the war, fight the Sultan, and save the city. And
that's just what they do, isn't it?
No, everybody else is old, and they don't want any part of it, so he's like, well, I'm gonna go fix it on my own then. And then he just kind of gets everybody riled up. He just kind of gets everybody riled up, and then the sniper misses, and the guy chokes on a bird when he's trying to blow the soldiers over. The strong man heaves ships that don't really go anywhere.
It was a bird. I didn't know what that was.
I'm pretty sure it was a bird. He ate a mouse or something, sucked it in. I don't know.
It just looked like a piece of trash to me. Doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And so they inadvertently, then Eric Idle finds his legs. He goes in as a Turkish sniper has got Baron in his sights for what seems like a full eternity without pulling the trigger. Eric Idle runs in just in the nick of time, tries to run the bullet down, Quicksilver style, burns his hand because the ball is spinning too fast. He hurts his fingers, says "owie," and then
an arm, piece of armor, what is it?
And then it ricochets all over. Yeah.
And it hits the sniper.
Goes all the way back, hits the sniper, drops him out of the castle, saves the Baron's life, is catching his breath, and the Baron looks down at him and says, well, get up. Must I do everything?
Yeah.
And just no appreciation for the
great boss
servants and all. And they, through no reasoning at all, I guess they're up against it with the politician of the city.
Oh, no, one of your favorites, Jonathan Pryce.
Jonathan Pryce, High Sparrow from Brazil.
Yeah.
Then he shoots Baron, drops him dead. Death, which has been chasing him this whole movie, finally catches up with him.
We forgot about that. The literal death has been chasing him the whole movie.
Yep. Finally catches up with him. Everybody cries. Not a dry eye in the house. And then they bury him. They cut back, and they're telling the story from the play, and he says, that was one of my many deaths. Just as I said.
An experience I highly recommend.
An experience that I highly recommend. But he wouldn't let the girl quit or choose death because she was too young.
Too young.
Yeah. And they're just like that. You've seen this movie.
We did a hell of a job of bang-up job.
Real bang-up job.
That's probably the best we've ever done describing a movie.
Probably.
I would like to add
Thank
when
me.
they escaped. Thanks, Zeke. Thank him for his service. Thank you, Zeke.
Yeah, thank me.
We forgot that when they were escaping the Moon King, Robin Williams was riding some sort of like
a bird hydra,
bird hydra, cerebrus bird.
A basilisk hydra.
Yeah, it might have been a basilisk. But anyways, it falls apart.
It was a steampunk turkey buzzard hydra.
There you go.
And then he ended up
straight from the steampunk buzzard turkey's mouth.
Yeah, he ended up careening off into space.
Yeah, and that's when
Arrivederci, Robin Williams.
Yeah,
and that's the character that connected us to this. I guess we forgot to say that Robin Williams was our connection from the Survivors. So
we got to the Survivors because you didn't know what a dang stalactite was.
That's right. That's very true. But I still might remember.
Shut up.
So I know I'm not. No one disagrees with you.
Disgusted. Supreme Dingus, write him in. You know his number 5.
I only accept snail mail. He Robin Williams ended up disappearing. His body kept harassing his wife, and Uma Thurman ended up being in this movie, and they recreated the Venus portrait with her. So
yeah, well, it's kind of a Alice in Wonderland. All the characters from the play and the theater company who ended up being characters in the adventure.
Yep, that's very true. I don't know how any of these movies connect into a trilogy at all.
Well, I don't know. You don't understand the concept of a loose trilogy, like they're just spiritual to each other, much like the Three Sisters of Dario Argento. They're not really connected at all. It's just maybe they're set in the same world. I don't think that's the case with these, but I think it's more they just have like the same idea and they're kind of interconnected by energy. You know what I mean?
They're all disjointed in the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. I think I get Time Bandits in this.
That does fit a lot better than Brazil.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
I don't know how Brazil honestly feels like more closely related to Super Mario Brothers than either of these.
Well, I would say Brazil in this related with Jonathan Pryce had that wingsuit or whatever, and then he was fighting that big mechanized samurai. That's kind of reminiscent of the
super messed up. Yeah, that's true. I think the death thing was more of an allegory that got us to the Astrodome, don't you?
Wingsuit. Are we talking about Brewster McCloud?
Yeah, Brewster McCloud. I feel like that was the connection there.
You think maybe that could be a spiritual?
Yeah, I think that's a spiritual connection to Jonathan Pryce.
It's the fourth one. Okay.
And then the other connection there could be Jonathan Pryce and The World Is Not Enough for James Bond.
You love that guy.
He's just everywhere. He's just an actor that's pretentious and won't go away. Yeah.
Do you think he's actually pretentious, or he just plays pretentious people?
Both, I think. I'm not convinced that he's acting, but I know that every time that I've seen him at an award show, he's the same. He's just
being this himself.
Yep.
He's got a real De Niro problem.
Yeah.
Well, now that you've seen the Trilogy of Imagination, how do they stack up? What's your favorite? What's your least favorite? Which one do you love?
Well, I don't love any of them.
Which one do you love?
I think that of the three, I like this one the most.
You loved it?
No. I really don't. Oh. I like the plumbers in Brazil. I wish that they were the movie.
Yeah.
But they're not.
Okay.
They represent like 5 minutes of the whole thing.
It was a good 5
Time
minutes.
Bandits, I did not care for at all. So that would be the bottom. I think that Brazil is a close second. And then this one is just kind of like, oh, okay. All right.
I go Brazil, number one. That's the one I love. And then this one is a pretty close second. I actually kind of enjoyed this one. And then Time Bandits is a very, very way off in the distance.
There were some things that I don't think it's any contest. Like Time Bandits was honestly a huge waste of time. But I did like the horse's head that they were shielding under when the movie opens. I thought it was like a terrible. Yeah, it got blown up by a cannon. I thought it was like a weird, like, not a Trojan horse, but like just kind of like, well,
sure.
This is the hovel we live in. I liked the line. Yeah, I liked the line. You incompetent imbeciles. Where are the waves? Like the play's just not going well, and he's just screaming at the beginning.
Yeah, he was unhappy.
Yeah, and I liked the line. I should never have taught you to read.
I had that written down too. You son of a.
I should never have taught you to read.
Oh.
He says that to his daughter. The guy playing Baron in the play says it to his daughter because she's like, it says Baron Munchausen and son. Like, why doesn't it say like and daughter?
Because then she could have been in the play.
And then she could have been in it. I thought it was a fun
big adventure.
It was a fun cameo. Heroes are like Jonathan Pryce says heroes are demoralizing, and he says you must be executed. Like this guy saved a bunch of people in the city. The guy that saved the people that didn't have any lines, he's in it for 30 seconds. That was Sting, which I thought was funny.
He did look familiar. Yeah.
Yep.
I think he did have a line. He said, I feel like he said something.
Okay. Well, it was Sting anyway. So those were one of my favorite parts.
I like the lines where before he takes off in his balloon of ladies' underpants, he says to some of the guards in the city, "Shouldn't we do something about these cannons?" And they said, "No." Well, why not?
It's Wednesday. Yeah, because Jonathan Pryce was trying to negotiate a peace so that he would, get promoted and hailed as a hero with the Sultan, and they'd like, we surrendered last time. That's why you have to surrender this time. And the Sultan's like, well, we're winning. Why would we surrender? And it's just like these two trying to.
Yeah, not really. So since there's a Venice, I guess it leads us to believe that it's in our Earth. But where the hell is there a British occupied city somewhere near where there'd be a Sultan? I guess it's probably not that too far out of the realm of possibility, but
I would imagine somewhere in India.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they did show like Vulcan had an atom bomb.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That he was trying to convince them to use in the middle of this late 19th century.
I liked a quote from old Vulcan. "Can I help you, tiny mortals?" I just thought that was funny.
Mm-hmm.
That's really all I got.
One of the things I did like was there's a stagehand who was just treated horribly, who was holding a baby all the time. He was trying to do everything she could to make the show must go on. Got absolutely no credit. Down. Was always yelled at. Thought that was.
It's always the lady with the baby's fault. I have written.
Yep. Yep. And she's like, "I'll wait for you." And the Baron was just like, "All these beautiful ladies, give me your knickers."
And they're all like, "Ooh."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like really ugly. He's got this like comically big nose, like a witch nose, and warts.
It looks like a crone.
Moles all over his face.
Yep.
Ladies love him.
Can't do without him.
That's what you need, Zeke. You need to get a big long nose and a big red hat and suit with all those, what do they call those, pirate suits.
Just walk around with a sword all the time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Powdered wig.
Yeah.
A couple of big old moles.
The mole will move all the time?
That's right.
Yeah. What's that from?
Mole.
Where it moves all the time?
The mole was, I think that's Men in Tights, isn't it?
I thought it was Princess Bride. No, it is Men in Tights. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Wasn't
you
it?
right.
Yeah. Well, anything else you want to say?
No, are you ready to rate it?
Yeah.
Hit me.
Sex or the Saw, I'm going to give it a pretty good makeout session. And I'd also like to throw in, it's the best movie I've seen on a 2x4-inch screen. I was watching it on my phone, and it wasn't even full screen. It was a teeny tiny portion of my phone screen, so it was a real small movie experience for me.
Yeah, well, not so immersive. Huh?
No.
This was a $2.99 rental.
Mm-hmm.
I would give this a $1.90.
Hey, that's not too bad, buddy.
Yeah.
$1.90 at $2.99.
I mean,
60%.
you said it during the movie. You're like, say what you will about Terry, like he has an immersive experience, and he does. Like he
really makes. I mean,
he spent a lot of money.
And I mean, he did well with that money too. I mean, say what you will about how you like it, but
the story wasn't really my favorite by any means, but he made the story that he set out to make, whether it made sense or not. So.
And I applaud you, Terry.
Mm-hmm. Well, that brings us to your connection.
Uh-huh.
Do you want me to be a dick about it, or do you want to?
Well, first you got to do this. You got to do the thing.
Kalima, choose your death.
Sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me, sock it to me. Do I want you to be a dick, or do I want you to be nice? You do what you got to do, buddy. I slap this on you, so if you got to slap something on me,
so it's not really. So I guess it's gonna be. I can assign you one.
Do what you do.
But I'm not,
good, buddy.
I kind of want to know. What happens if I do it. So, Oliver Reed is the Vulcan King. He's probably
he was
most
the stage manager too, or he played the Munchausen in the play. Anyways, continue.
Oh, did he really? Okay.
I think so.
Probably wrong. Oliver Reed is most famous for for Gladiator. He's in a film called The Brood.
Maybe it wasn't that. I've seen it. Sorry.
Okay. He's also in a film.
You're talking about the Cronenberg?
Yep.
The Brood? Yeah,
I am.
I've seen it.
He's also in a film called The Pit and the Pendulum.
Oof.
Does not look good. Not gonna lie. Does not look good.
Poe rag, huh?
That's made famous by Poe.
Walter Poe.
Yep, Walter Poe. Walter White Poe. Or Delgo. Do you ever see Delgo?
It's about a horse?
No, that's Hidalgo. Delgo broke the record from Frog, FR07.
Yeah.
Biggest tank. That's Eric Idle connection.
What kind of an animal is it?
It's an alien.
Huh.
I'm not keen on. I have seen that. It's not great. That's just on there.
Many great movies. So.
I'm working my way up to something. I just don't. I don't know. So there's another one called Absolutely Anything with Eric Idle. That's got Simon Pegg. Have you seen that?
I have not.
I don't know if it's 2015. It's got Simon Pegg, Kate Beckinsale, Rob Riggle. A group of eccentric aliens a group of eccentric aliens confer a human being with power to do absolutely anything as an experiment to see what happens.
I think I remember. I've seen it.
Okay, so that's off the table too. How was it?
Boy, I'm trying to remember.
Uma Thurman is in a film called The Con Is On.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heist thing.
Sounds up your alley.
2018. It's got Tim Roth, Uma Thurman.
Ooh, I like Tim.
Stephen Fry. Maggie Q. Pretty good cast. It's got a 4 out of 10 rating. In an effort to avoid paying off a massive gambling debt to a notorious mobster in England, a couple flee to Los Angeles to hatch a jewel theft plan. It can't be good.
Classic.
Okay, which brings us to the one I was going to stick you with.
Yeah.
So right now the only eligible ones that you have are The Con Is On and Delgo. And this one right here, which is a connection to Eric Idle to a 1990 film, Nuns on the Run.
Oh boy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, sorry, I'm getting a phone call in there.
2 criminals want out, but their boss kills those leaving. When the men are ordered to rob the triad, they keep the money and hide from the boss. Triad and police at a convent dresses as nuns.
Nuns on the Run.
Nuns on the Run. All right.
Yeah.
1990 Nuns on the Run. I can get behind that. Good. That was the one I was hoping that you would choose of your own
90.
volition.
And I did. And we're through Uma?
Nope, we're through Eric Idle.
What was his character's name in Munchausen? Do you know off the top of your head?
Ooh.
I'll look it up. Doesn't matter. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
No, I will. I have it pulled up right here. Just a second. His name in Baron von Munchausen. Adventures of Baron Munchausen, Desmond and Berthold.
Desmond
in the play, Berthold as the Speedy Man.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right. Well,
there it is.
8 months from now, we'll tell you all about Nuns on the Run.
Nah, we'll do better. We'll do 7 months this time. So we'll talk to you all in November.
All right. Well, we'll miss the special for Halloween, but that's okay.
That's fine. Yep.
All right. Well,
all
good
right,
talking
everybody.
to you.
Always remember, don't be a sucker. It's been a slice. And if you need us, just whistle.
Don't lose hope. Don't catch cold. Okay, love you. Bye. The portions of today's broadcast that you actually enjoyed are brought to you in whole by...
Hi-yo!
Have we got a deal for you?
More like a steal if you ask me.
Are you tired of being stuck in the muck?
Tired of your leadership qualities being ignored?
Fret no more, my little worrywart.
That's right, for the out of this world deal, 17 installments of $99.99, you can own your very own compound kit.
These cult classic kits are flying off the shelves right into space, where you'll be safe from all the imbeciles down here on Earth.
With the How to Cult 2.0, you'll become the leader you always believed you could.
It may not have your followers eating out of your hand, but it will certainly have them drinking your Kool-Aid.
Come one, come all. The first round was so successful, we're doing it again. How to Cult 2.0.
Get yours today.
Full payment before delivery is required. Pay in full before consuming. You won't regret this.
Nailed it.
I'm going to order one of these kits.